Some would say that this is Stanley Kubrick's official confession that he had something to do with the Apollo 11 mission, but is there any other evidence out there that he was involved? Well, this is Stanley being approached by NASA officials sometime before the Apollo missions and after 2001: A Space Odyssey, one of Stanley's films that NASA officials were interested in, and they were interested in his models that he had made. And that's where a lot of the speculation came from, that Stanley Kubrick had something to do with these supposed models that were made, which raises enough questions. But what about this? This is a special lens by Carl Zeiss that only Stanley Kubrick, Carl Zeiss, and NASA even have the privilege of owning, and wouldn't you know it, they were used in the Apollo missions. And a lot of people ask, where's all the original Apollo moon mission data? Well, it first went through the hands of a man named John Knoll, which is the creator of Photoshop. So all the Apollo moon missions were re-released after they went through the hands of arguably the world's greatest animator. And NASA's no stranger to being affiliated with the world's greatest animator, because here is Wernher von Braun, the Yahtzee scientist that was brought over to NASA from Operation Paperclip, hanging out with the world's greatest animator at the time, Walt Disney. King of rockets, king of animation, but that's not all. Here's an article on NASA's website called We Are NASA, talking about the junior animator and graphic designer contractor, Reese Patillo. Yeah, one of the greatest animators. We are NASA. We all remember Robert Simmons, the creator of the Blue Marble, but that's old news. Nowadays, we have several stories of astrophysicists turned animator. Yeah. Seems that NASA is just full of professional animation artists. Weird, huh? I'll be honest, I miss the world of practical effects, but now everything just seems so crispy, and it's probably because it had to filter through the hands of the greatest names in digital effects. So before you start falling for all the fake Stanley Kubrick interviews and behind-the-scenes footage, why don't you look at the truth? That Stanley was in fact affiliated with NASA between the time of 2001: Space Odyssey and the moon landing, and their interest was in fact in scale model landers.